Hello dear friends. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss a very valuable topic on parenting. 10 Stoic ways to raise your children better. Parenting can be a challenging journey for anyone, and it is important to seek guidance along the way. The philosophy of Stoicism can help us learn how to lay a firmer foundation, both as individuals and as parents. In this video, I will share 10 effective Stoic methods we can use to shape our children's character and give them the skills they need to become healthy individuals. Are you ready? Let's explore together these valuable lessons to better raise our children. Let's get started. Do your children ever drive you crazy? Tantrums, refusal to listen. And then a little voice whispers in your head, "Am I doing everything wrong? Will they grow up to be decent people?" Such vague questions can make you feel that you are not competent in the most critical tasks. We all want the best for our children, but sometimes it can seem impossible. But what if I told you that some parenting mistakes are actually the key to raising incredible children? That a way of thinking from thousands of years ago holds the secrets to turning chaos into calm, whiny children into strong, resilient problem solvers. That this is Stoicism, not a philosophy from the dusty pages of history, but practical tools from the greatest minds in history. Imagine your child being able to manage their anger when dealing with frustration, accepting what they cannot control and focusing only on what they can control. Imagine them making their own, good choices because they have inner strength. If you are ready to stop yelling and being spoiled and raise a child who makes you truly proud, stay with me. I'll share 12 ways Stoicism can make you a better parent and your children absolutely wonderful. Hit the subscribe button while you're here so you don't miss out on the good stuff. When you're ready to add value to your children and learn with them, let's get started. 1. Exemplary virtues. Think of yourself as a walking, talking example of what a good life can look like. Your children learn by observing not only what you say, but also the way you live. How you face disappointments, how you treat others, whether you follow your own advice. This is what the Stoics mean by modeling virtue. It's about bringing wisdom, justice, and strength into everything you do. Let's say a difficult situation arises. Instead of reacting with anger or frustration, you take a moment to pause, breathe, and respond calmly. This is not pretending that negative emotions don't exist. You are showing your children that we have a choice. Instead of letting our emotions drive us, we have the ability to control how we react to them. This is a critical skill for recognizing and managing our emotions. Emotions are natural and human reactions, but we have the power to make choices about how we react. Making these choices consciously can help us build healthier relationships and improve our quality of life. Developing our emotional intelligence is key to this process. That is true courage. Or when faced with a difficult decision, you don't just choose the easy option. You weigh the facts carefully, consider the impact on others, and make a choice that is consistent with being a good person, even if it is difficult. This is how you teach them about true justice. This is much more powerful than any lesson in justice. Maybe someone needs help and you don't hesitate to help, even if it is inappropriate. You don't seek praise, you just do the right thing. This is the kind of quiet strength and true kindness that shapes a child's heart. Remember, children are constantly learning from your behavior. Imagine the impact of their growing up experiencing that concepts like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control are not just abstract ideas, but a philosophy that is concretely practiced in everyday life. Your own example becomes a guiding light that they will carry with them throughout their lives. 2. Emphasize what they can control. Imagine you give your child a beautiful kite. They are so excited to fly it. Their eyes are shining with anticipation. You help them launch it into the sky, and for a blissful moment it flies. But then a gust of wind comes up and the kite crashes to the ground. Their little faces fall in disappointment. This is where focusing on what they can control becomes a powerful lesson. You cannot determine the wind or guarantee that the kite will always fly perfectly. But you can help them shift their focus in the moment. Did they launch the kite carefully? Did they run as fast as they could? Did they make adjustments as the wind changed? This is not about ignoring the outcome. It is normal to feel a little upset when things don't go as hoped. But by emphasizing their efforts, their choices, and their attitude to the situation, you are teaching them an incredibly valuable lesson that the Stoics understood so well. We cannot command the world to do our bidding. Children feel helpless when they focus only on what they cannot control. If their self-esteem depends on things like grades, winning a game, or the weather, they are setting themselves up for constant disappointment. But by channeling their energy into things over which they have power, they gain a sense of agency and resilience. Imagine a child who focuses on the kite falling and gives up in despair. Now imagine someone else saying, "Okay, the wind has changed. Let's try a different spot. Maybe I can adjust the string." That is the spirit of control you want to encourage. In life, we can't control whether it rains or shines. But we can control how we prepare, how we react, and how hard we work. This is the way of the Stoics, and by teaching this you are giving your child a gift that will serve them for a lifetime. They may not always win, but they will never be truly defeated. 3. Accept and reframe negative emotions. Think of your child's emotions as a wild storm raging inside him or her. Fear flashes like lightning, anger rumbles like thunder, and sadness brings heavy tears, falling in drops. Our instinct is often to try to calm the storm, to tell them to stop crying, not to be afraid, to calm down. But trying to suppress these emotions is like trying to stop the rain by shouting at the clouds. The Stoics did not see emotions as the enemy. They understood that emotions are a natural and even useful part of being human. Sometimes it is normal to feel angry, afraid, or sad. What matters is how we react to them. This is the key to emotional mastery. Don't get angry. Instead of saying, "Don't get angry, how about we try this? I can see that you are really angry right now. What is making you so angry?" By acknowledging their feelings, you validate their experience. You show them that it is normal to feel these kinds of emotions. This opens a space for understanding. Maybe they are angry because their brother got the bigger cake. They are not really angry about the cake. They probably feel that things are not fair or that they are being ignored. Now you can talk about this deeper feeling instead of trying to suppress anger. You can then guide them on how to express this anger in a constructive way. Instead of hitting or shouting, perhaps they can take a deep breath, say they feel angry and calmly explain their frustration, or perhaps they need some time to calm down before speaking. When we teach children to accept their emotions and turn them into something productive, we give them an incredible gift. Instead of being overwhelmed or controlled by their emotions, they learn to understand their own inner weather. By facing their storms instead of running away from them, they develop a skill of emotional strength that they can rely on throughout their lives. 4. Teach by example, not just words. Think of yourself as a walking, talking example of the Stoic ideals you want to instill in your child. They learn much more from your behavior than from what you say. After all, children are masters of observation, their curious eyes taking in everything you do. If you want to raise a child who is calm in the face of disappointment, it is not enough to tell them to be calm. They need to see that you model this emotional regulation. When something spills, do you take a deep breath and approach it calmly, or do you suddenly fly into a rage? Are you reacting? This shows them self-control in action. Do you want to teach the power of perseverance? Don't just tell them to keep trying, show them yourself. Are you struggling with a task at home? Speak your own thoughts out loud. It is very difficult, but I know that if I take a break and try a different approach, I will figure it out. Set an example so they can see your consistency. Do you desire them to be kind and compassionate? They should overflow from your own heart. Model empathy by the way you talk about others, even those you disagree with. Let them see you helping a neighbor, donating to a cause, or standing up for someone who has been wronged. The beauty of this is that you don't have to be perfect. Even the Stoics know that we all make mistakes sometimes. It's the overall trajectory that matters. If they see you constantly trying, making amends after your mistakes, and living in harmony with your values, they will internalize this lesson. Imagine your child facing a challenge years from now. A voice echoes in their mind, not a list of rules, but the memory of how you lived. How you handled your disappointments with grace, how you were able to remain kind even in difficult times, and how you always strive to be the best version of yourself. This example is the most powerful teaching. By embodying the Stoic principles you believe in, you give your child not only a philosophy to follow, but also a guide to a life well lived. And this is a legacy that will truly shape every step they take into the future. 5. Value the effort more than the result. Often the results. In a world that worships medals, rankings, perfect test scores, social media likes, teaching your child to value effort over results is a revolutionary act. It instills a Stoic strength that no external validation can match. Imagine your child spending hours studying for an exam. He asks questions, makes flashcards, and sacrifices playtime for revision. The day of the exam comes, and despite all their efforts, they don't get the grade they had hoped for. It can be hard to accept their disappointment, but these moments offer opportunities for growth and learning. Praise their hard work instead of focusing on the grade. I saw how dedicated you were to preparing. You tackled those challenging concepts and didn't give up even when it was hard. I am proud of you for the effort you put in. By doing this, you're telling them that their worth is not based on arbitrary numbers or someone else's approval. You're showing them that true victory lies in the struggle itself, in the perseverance they show, in the knowledge they acquire, in the self-discipline they build. Children who focus only on the outcome can quickly become frustrated when they don't achieve their goals. They may withdraw from situations that are difficult for them, or only engage in activities that guarantee success. But a child who values effort knows that progress is a reward in itself. They learn that setbacks are not failures but valuable feedback, clues on how to adjust their strategies next time. They are not afraid of challenges, they accept them as a chance to grow. Imagine what kind of adult they are. They are not driven by external praise, but by an inner fire to do their best. They will not be deterred by obstacles, they will always be willing to learn and adapt. The real value of a Stoic approach comes when you begin to value effort over outcome every day. 6. Cultivate gratitude. Imagine your child fixing their gaze on a toy they don't have, their heart aching with longing. This is where cultivating gratitude becomes a transformative practice. As the Stoics understood, gratitude is not about claiming that life is perfect, but focusing on the riches we have. Start with simple gratitude exercises. Maybe a special notebook where they write down 3 things they are grateful for each day, or a gratitude jar where everyone slips little thank you notes. During dinner, take turns sharing one good thing that happened, no matter how small. These practices train your child's mind and your mind to look for the good. They begin to notice the warmth of sunlight on their skin, the kindness of a friend, the simple joy of a favorite book. Over time, this way of thinking begins to permeate their every action. Even mundane tasks can become meditations of gratitude. Can you imagine all the people who make this meal possible when they help set the table? Farmers, delivery drivers, grocery store workers. Suddenly eating becomes an act of gratitude for the vast network of people they are connected to. Imagine a child who always focuses on what they lack. Even if they have a lot to be grateful for, it is possible for them to feel dissatisfied. This can be caused by the gap between people's expectations and desires and their reality. This kind of dissatisfaction can arise when the mind focuses on what is lacking instead of focusing on what it has. But a child with a grateful heart finds miracles in everyday life. They learn that true contentment comes not from having more, but from appreciating what they have. As they grow, this gratitude will make them resilient. When the going gets tough, they will be able to continue to see the glimpses of light through the clouds. They will recognize the kind gestures, the small blessings, the hidden miracles that surround us. Gratitude, like any skill, takes practice. But over time it becomes a way of seeing the world. This sense of wonder and appreciation is one of the most beautiful gifts you can give your child. And it is basically a Stoic way of life. 7. Encourage service to others. The Stoics did not focus only on personal power. They deeply understood that we are all part of a greater whole. Encouraging service to others is where this philosophy goes from head to heart. It awakens in your child a sense of compassion and commitment that will spread throughout the world. Imagine your child's eyes opening as they help with social tasks, their little hands learning the power of giving. Or the kind smile they offer to an elderly neighbor as they help carry groceries. Or the way they come and pick up the rug without being told while you sweep the floor. These are small acts of kindness that have a big impact. Through service, abstract concepts like community and responsibility become concrete experiences. Children learn that their actions matter, that they can make a tangible difference in someone else's life. This sense of empowerment and purpose is incredibly empowering. Service to others also breaks down the walls of self-absorption. Children naturally start with a mindset that it's all about me. By focusing on the needs of others, they gain perspective and a beautiful shift takes place. In an environment once dominated by self-centered approaches, empathy blossoms. They begin to see the struggles and joys of people from different backgrounds. They realize that everyone deserves kindness and compassion, no matter what the circumstances. These experiences plant the seeds of social justice and a deep desire to contribute to a more compassionate world. Imagine the kind of person your child will grow up to be. Someone who sees those in need and steps forward to help, not out of obligation but out of a genuine understanding of our common humanity. Someone who recognizes that true fulfillment comes not from receiving, but from giving. This kind of heart, a generous, compassionate, engaged heart, is both a blessing and a contribution to the world. And this is a core element of Stoic philosophy that you can instill in your child through the simple act of encouraging them to serve others. 8. Prioritize wisdom over material possessions. In a world that shouts more, bigger, newer, teaching your child that wisdom is more important than possessions is an act of quiet defiance. This is the kind of inner wisdom that Stoicists value above all else, the kind that no one can take away. It is about encouraging richness. Imagine your child is surrounded by piles of toys, but still feels vaguely dissatisfied. A new toy creates a moment of excitement, but is quickly replaced by a longing for the next toy. This is the trap of materialism. It is chasing happiness in objects that never satisfy the heart. Instead of focusing on accumulating things, shift the emphasis to experiences. Taking a family walk instead of a video game, baking cookies together instead of buying the latest gadget, listening to a story in the library instead of scrolling through social media. These shared moments create memories, not clutter. Prioritize the type of richness found in learning. Encourage curiosity by visiting a museum, looking at the stars, exploring how things work. Develop a passion for reading that transports them to new universes and expands the limits of their thinking. This pursuit of knowledge ignites passion and fills their lives with a lasting purpose. But most importantly, help them appreciate their greatest treasure, their relationships. Teach them kindness, respect, and true friendship. Help them develop empathy and compassion. Because at the end of the day, the love and connections they make will provide more lasting joy than any material object ever could. Imagine the kind of person your child will grow up to be. They will not be easily influenced by trends or status symbolisms because they know that lasting satisfaction comes from within. They will be grounded in their own inner wisdom, enjoying experiences, with a love of learning, and surrounded by deep connections. This is the kind of strength that lasts long after any new toy has lost its luster. 9. Treat obstacles as opportunities. Think of your child's life as a great adventure story that he or she is writing every day. Now imagine an adventure story where there are no challenges. It would be quite boring. It is these moments of challenge, these unexpected obstacles along the way that make the story exciting and give the hero a chance to really shine. The Stoics understood that difficulty is not punishment, but potential. Every mistake your child makes, every failed attempt is actually a powerful opportunity in disguise, a chance to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. So the next time they build a tower and it topples, or lose a game they really wanted to win, resist the urge to simply fix or smooth over the situation. Instead, be a wise guide for them in this adventure of life. Ask with genuine curiosity. Okay, that didn't work so well. Ask what do you think might have gone wrong? Help them analyze the situation. Did their tower need a wider base? Did they get frustrated and rush their move? Perhaps there is a lesson even in the disappointment itself. Then ask the even more powerful question. How can you approach this differently next time? Brainstorm new strategies, encourage them to try again, and celebrate the learning process. Focus not on their first stumbles, but on the incredible progress they make with each attempt. Imagine a child who thinks every mistake is a disaster or who gives up sighing that they are no good at it. Compare them to a child who sees challenges as exciting puzzles and learns from every failed attempt. This mindset shift changes everything. They develop a sense of courage. They know they can always improve. They don't give up when faced with challenges. They are excited to strategize and try again. This is the essence of Stoic resilience, and the ability to reframe challenges will lead them to success in all areas of life. 10. Develop self-reflection. Imagine giving your child a magic mirror. But instead of reflecting their outward appearance, this mirror shows them their own hearts and minds. This is the power of self-reflection, a practice that Stoic people value for building wisdom and inner peace. Children are often so focused on the world outside them, what is happening on the playground, what their friends are saying, what game they want to play, that they rarely slow down to listen to their inner voice. They always move and react without understanding why. You can help them develop this inner mirror by asking gentle, open-ended questions. After a difficult day of play, instead of asking, "Why were you so angry?" try asking, "How were you feeling just before you yelled?" This shifts the focus away from judgment and towards simply noticing their feelings. Or if a favor was done, what do you think made you share your toy? That was really thoughtful. This helps them recognize the good in themselves and understand the feelings that lead to positive actions. It is important to create a safe space for this exploration. Let them know that there are no right or wrong answers when it comes to emotions. You want them to feel comfortable sharing their doubts, fears, and joys without fear of being corrected or scolded. Self-reflection. It is not to criticize their every thought or action, but to give them tools to understand themselves better. The child who asks, "Why am I so angry?" can begin to identify their triggers and find better ways to manage them. The child who reflects on moments of kindness is more likely to repeat these actions in the future. Imagine the kind of person your child will become with this self-awareness skill. Guided by their inner compass, they will make wiser choices, build stronger relationships, and navigate the complexities of life with a deep understanding of themselves. This kind of inner knowledge is a Stoic superpower, giving them both calm and clarity in a sometimes chaotic world. 11. Emphasize the importance of relationships. While the Stoics focused on inner strength and not relying on external validation, they fully understood the importance of human relationships. Nurturing strong relationships is like planting a beautiful garden in your child's heart, a source of joy, support, and growth that will enrich their whole life. You are their first and most important model for relationships. The love and kindness you show them and others teaches them so much about how to relate to the world. When they see you treat your own friends and family with respect, they learn the cornerstone of positive relationships. Help them to go beyond superficiality when making their own friendships. Encourage them to find friends who make them feel good about themselves, who bring out their best qualities. Teach them to be a good friend in return, showing them loyalty, reliability, and how to truly celebrate another person's achievements. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship, even at a young age. Instead of rescuing them from every minor disagreement, teach them conflict resolution skills, helping them to calmly communicate their needs, listen respectfully to the other person's point of view, and work towards solutions that are fair to both parties. Strong relationships are based on empathy, the ability to step into another person's shoes and see the world through their eyes, read books and watch movies together about characters from different backgrounds. Start conversations about how others might feel. Encourage them to really listen to a friend when they are upset and develop the ability to offer support and understanding. Imagine what kind of person your child will be. Surrounded by true friends, able to manage differences with grace and deeply connected to those they love. They will not only have relationships, they will understand how to build and nurture them. This skill will bring them immeasurable joy throughout their lives. As the Stoics understood, true happiness is not found alone. It flourishes in the fertile soil of healthy relationships where love, laughter, and shared experiences create a sense of belonging and support that enriches life infinitely. 12. Teach problem solving. Life is full of challenges, big and small. Think of them as little puzzles interspersed along your child's path. The most empowering gift you can give as a parent is not to solve all the puzzles for them, but to teach them how to solve them on their own. This is true resilience and is at the heart of Stoic problem solving. Instead of intervening immediately when something goes wrong, sit with them and be a guide. First, help them to clearly define the problem. Okay, you're upset that your block tower keeps toppling over. What exactly is the problem here? Once the problem is clear, it's time to brainstorm. Let's think of all the ways to fix it. No idea is too ridiculous. Maybe they need wider blocks, maybe they need a different surface to build on, or maybe they need to rethink their tower design. This is where creativity and thinking outside the box becomes a superpower. Now for every possible solution, ask, what could be good about this? What could be a challenge? This teaches them to evaluate their options thoughtfully. Does building on the carpet make it more stable? But does it also mean that it will get in the way of everyone passing by? Once they have chosen a solution, it's time to make a plan. What steps do they need to take? What can you do to support them without doing it for them? It's okay if the first solution doesn't work perfectly. The magic is in the process, not in the instant success. You might say, what a great experiment. What did we learn that can help us change our plan for next time? Imagine a child growing up with this approach to problems. They don't melt down when something is difficult. They see challenges as exciting opportunities to strategize and try different solutions. Instead of feeling helpless, they feel capable and resourceful. And this, more than any puzzle they solve, will be a lifelong source of strength. Raising children is complex, beautiful, and sometimes downright hurtful work. But imagine this: years from now, you see your child all grown up and a wonderful adult. You see them courageously making difficult choices, overcoming setbacks with a calm determination that even you don't know. Imagine that pride, that consciousness because of you. Of course, they will still have flaws, we all do. But deep down, they will have the inner strength, wisdom, and compassion to truly make the world a better place. That is the power of raising them in the Stoic way. It is a gift not only to them, but also to the future we will all share. That's the thing about Stoicism and parenting: it's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. It's about focusing on your child's effort rather than the outcome, teaching them to find solutions and nurturing within them the virtues that will guide them throughout their lives. Remember, this is a journey, and every small change you make will have a ripple effect. If you take one thing away from this video, it's that your actions as a parent shape the kind of person your child will become. Model the strength you want them to have, give them the tools they need, and trust their potential. If you found this video helpful, please like me, share it with other parents, and subscribe to learn more about how Stoicism can help you live a better life. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, be a Stoic and stay happy.